It's time for another episode of the Josh Cast. This is my second time trying to record this. The first time I didn't like where it was going. I didn't like where it was going. So I'm going to reorganize my thoughts. We're going to try this again. Here's what I love about Los Angeles. Okay, we're in the middle of this virus outbreak, and yes, the traffic is lighter, but there is still traffic. And I fully believe that the people of Los Angeles will find a way to totally self-quarantine and totally self-isolate, but still manage to have a 2-hour commute. Because that is how Los Angeles rolls, my friends. That is how we roll. How am I feeling? Well, every single bodily function that feels just a little bit off, I'm like, oh God, it's the virus. I've killed all the old people. Oh God. So the hypochondriac in me is finally accepting reality of what's going on. That's fun. What else is happening? Sorry, my mind was on something else. I need to focus 100%. We've got to focus on that. We got to focus, man. We've got to focus. We've got to focus on this podcast. Here's the other thing that for me, I'll always stop the podcast whenever I arrive at my destination, which is odd. I don't need to do that. I could, park the car and continue doing the podcast. I don't know why there's a part of me that's like, no, that breaks the rules. What rules? By the way, the car next to me is a Honda Fit. And can I just say about the Honda Fit, I respect the Honda Fit. It's a hatchback. I really do. I understand where the Honda Fit is coming from. I think it has a lot of positive traits about it. I am the kind of person who should be driving a Honda Fit. I really should be. And I did test drive a Honda Fit. And I don't want to. Like, I recognize I've only had one sexual partner. I really do. I recognize that. But can I at least have a Civic? Can I at least have a car that has a little bit of pep? That's all I'm asking. I can't go full hatchback. I can't do it. I know that's where I belong. I know that's the human being I am. I get it. I really do. But if you could just permit me the privilege of driving a compact sedan, just give me this. Just give me that. Maybe it'll keep me going. Maybe. I think we can talk some more about not Street Fighter. Well, we can talk some more about Street Fighter, but Final Fantasy. I wanted to talk a little bit more about Final Fantasy. I talked about it in my previous podcast. Go listen to it. Like it. Share it. Tell your friends. Final Fantasy VII. Where were we? I was talking about Cloud's hair. Let's continue with that conversation a little bit. Cloud had very good hair. The bad guy in Final Fantasy VII. Sephiroth. Great name, by the way. Great name. I think his first name was Sable. I can't remember exactly. Sable Sephiroth. One way or another, Sephiroth is a fantastic name. I'm sorry, what party are you with tonight? Are you with the Andersons or the Sephiroths? Oh, the Sephiroths, please. Okay, great. Right this way. Please check your 6-foot sword at the door. Oh, of course, thank you, yes. Sephiroth, I believe, and I've talked about this in a previous podcast, I'm going to talk about it again. Sephiroth only had one wing. I think the other wing was ripped from him. And what I liked about him was that it looked like even though he only had one wing, he could still somehow hover, which which tells me I'm not even sure he needed the wing. I think if he can hover, okay, if he's powerful enough that he can hover, which means he's not using the wing, and the wing, as we all know, as the laws of physics will tell us, in order for a wing to be useful, you need to achieve adequate lift. But hovering implies that there's another kind of lift that has nothing to do with the wing, which tells me this, that somebody ripped off this guy's wing, and it turns out that his wings are decorative. They ripped out his decorative wing. Sephiroth, what happened to you? My decorative wing was ripped out! Now I only have one. Do you know how difficult it is to walk through doorways now? Actually, it's half as difficult as it was to walk through doorways. Now that I think about it, there's really less of a wingspan. It's half. In fact, it's much easier to walk through doorways. I just look like an idiot. I look like a one-winged idiot. Sephiroth, ladies and gentlemen. The good news is that when he's buying an airline plane ticket, now when he had 2 wings, he had to buy 3 seats. Now he only needs to buy 2. So see, every cloud has a silver lining, and that was totally meant to be a pun on Cloud, who's the main character of Final Fantasy VII. I look at my stats, by the way, and it looks like literally I have on average 4 to 8 people listening to this podcast. But lately, it seems like one of those people, according to the stats, is in Spain. And it's just baffling to me that there's one person in Spain walking around listening to a Jew in Burbank going off about a guy who only has 1 wing. That's the world we live in. All right, well, I'm feeling better about this iteration of the podcast than the previous iteration of the podcast. Feeling much better about it. I skipped dinner last night. I think that's why I have the headache. What else is happening? What else is happening? I will tell you what else is happening, my friends. I will tell you. Yeah, the 5 is still, people are still on it. Like, it's not rush hour caliber, but it's... I think if Los Angeles works really hard, we can still have a rush hour. That's, I have a lot of pride in this city, and I have a lot of faith that we will still find a way. We will still find a way to be late. Can we blame it on the traffic? No. We'll blame it on the toilet paper. I'm sorry I'm late. Out of toilet paper. I had to improvise. Don't let me... I won't get into the details. I won't bore you with the gritty details. So that, my friends, is, I could, there may be room in this podcast for another Final Fantasy podcast. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Sephiroth, party of 3. I see there's only 2 of you. Well, I had to get a seat for my wing, okay? My decorative wing. So yes, there's 3 of us.